collapse is psychological, not just economic. You are being prepared to survive a silent war, not with weapons, but with consciousness. The real collapse is happening now, within people. Chapter 1. The war you never saw begin. Wars don't always start with bombs. Sometimes, they start with confusion. While you've been watching markets crash and governments fall, another war has been unfolding in silence. Inside your mind, this isn't about politics. This isn't about inflation. This is about how millions are being broken from the inside out. Before they even realize it, you feel it, don't you? The fatigue that never goes away, the constant scrolling, the inability to focus for more than a few seconds. It's not by accident. It's not just modern life. It's design. There's a psychological operation happening, slow, invisible, and effective, and it's not targeting your body. It's targeting your clarity, your resilience, your ability to think. Because if they can break your mind, they don't need to control anything else. You'll obey out of exhaustion. You'll comply just to feel safe. You'll forget who you are and do what you're told. This is why the real collapse isn't on the news. It's not in the stock market. It's in your mental environment. And the scariest part, most people have already lost, and they don't even know a war has started. Chapter 2. Mental disarmament. How the system weakens you first. Before any system collapses, the people must be disarmed, but not of weapons, of mental strength. They don't need to take your freedom if they can take your focus. They don't need to lock you up if they can exhaust your will. The strategy is simple. Keep you busy. Keep you tired, keep you distracted. First, they overload your senses. You're bombarded with updates, opinions, and crises that don't concern you, but still drain you. You can't focus, because you were never meant to. The system rewards overstimulation, but punishes stillness. Then, they destabilize your emotions. They normalize fear, uncertainty, and panic. Every headline is a threat. Every scroll is a trigger. You're constantly reacting, never thinking. And over time, you become easier to guide. Finally, they isolate your mind from your soul. You begin to doubt your instincts. You stop reflecting. You chase meaning in metrics and validation, forgetting who you are when no one is watching. This is mental disarmament. It doesn't come with force. It comes with fatigue, with noise, with comfort so addicting that pain feels safer than truth. They don't need to control you. They just need to keep you from controlling yourself. And by the time the real collapse hits, you'll be too distracted, too tired, and too broken to resist. Chapter 3. The false sense of preparedness. They told you to prepare, store food, buy gear, be ready for disaster. And yes, that matters. But what no one told you is this. All the tools in the world mean nothing if your mind is broken. You can have shelves full of supplies, but if you panic the moment your routine breaks, you're not ready. You can own a weapon, but if fear owns your thoughts, you've already lost. This is the trap. A culture obsessed with physical survival, while quietly neglecting the battlefield inside. You think you're prepared, but you still depend on the noise to feel okay. You still wake up anxious and go to sleep numb. You still fear silence more than collapse. Real preparedness doesn't start with storage. It starts with inner sovereignty, because when the systems truly fall, you won't just face external threats. You'll face yourself, your fears, your confusion, your habits. And if your mind isn't trained, if your spirit isn't grounded, you won't survive the pressure, no matter how full your bunker is. That's the uncomfortable truth. Most prepared people are just mentally dependent in a different direction. And when the world goes silent, only the internally resilient will know what to do next. Chapter 4. Reclaiming mental sovereignty. The moment you reclaim your mind, you become dangerous to a collapsing system, because clarity is power, and power, true power, doesn't come from control. It comes from internal stability. So how do you take your mind back? First, disconnect to regain vision. Silence is not a threat, it's your weapon. Turn off the noise, step away from the feed, let your nervous system breathe. It's in silence that truth speaks, and confusion fades. Second, watch your inputs. You are not just what you eat, you are what you consume emotionally, mentally, digitally. Garbage in, distortion out. Be ruthless about what you allow into your field of awareness. Third, train your thoughts. Mental strength is like muscle. It grows through resistance. Catch your reactions. Question the automatic. Think before you absorb. Fourth, ground in something eternal. Faith, principle, truth. You cannot survive psychological warfare if your identity depends on shifting opinions. You need an anchor deeper than the storm. Fifth, embrace solitude, not loneliness, but separation from noise. The world fears solitude because in it, you remember who you are. That's why they keep you busy. That's why they fill your every second, to keep you from waking up. But now, you see it. Reclaiming your mind is not easy, but it's necessary. And it's not just for survival. It's for freedom. Chapter 5. What's coming will test your mind, not just your wallet. The next crisis won't just empty bank accounts. It will invade minds. The signs are already here. Confusion is rising. Trust is collapsing. And beneath the surface, people are breaking faster than the systems meant to hold them. We've been trained to fear the loss of comfort, but we weren't trained to face the collapse of meaning. That's what's coming. And when it hits, it won't matter how much money you have. If your peace can be stolen in a moment, it won't matter how prepared you are physically. If your thoughts still belong to someone else. We are entering an era where survival will depend on one thing: mental clarity. Not strength, not wealth, not noise. Clarity. Those who stay grounded in truth. Those who learn to be still in chaos. Those who detach from the hysteria and think with discipline. They will become the new leaders, the new protectors, the quiet resistance. Because the real collapse isn't about structures falling, it's about minds being reprogrammed to accept slavery as safety. But now you know, and now you must choose. Stay asleep and wait for the system to save you. Or wake up, reclaim your mind, and prepare to walk through the storm, unshaken. If you made it this far, you're not like most. You've seen the cracks, you've felt the pressure. Now you have a choice. Go back to sleep, or stay alert, and prepare from within. If you're awake, subscribe. Share this with one person who needs to see it. The real war has just begun, and your mind is your first line of defense.